Hi everyone, welcome for our penultimate episode of Undead in Dallas. Coterie's been going through a lot these past couple episodes, so we'll see how it goes for them now. So we're gonna let everybody introduce themselves. I'm gonna start in a different order with Cassie.
Oh, hi. I'm Cassidy. You can find me on Twitter at awkwardcassidy _, and I'm playing Dr. Alice Smith, the Malkavian. It's gonna be fun. Nothing bad is gonna happen.
Completely fine, completely fine. Anne.
Hi, my name is Ann Pierce. You can find me on socials at _Ann Pierce _. Today I am playing Rhea, the Tremere, who has a few secrets, but we're kindred, so don't we all?
Secrets are like bread and butter in this world. Dom.
You're muted, bud.
Good one. Hi there, everybody. I'm Dominic. I am involved with the Bear Pen Collective here, doing different things: art, playing, tech directing, all kinds of stuff. Can't really find me anywhere special just yet, and nothing worth looking at. But today I'm playing Rich. I got shot at. I'm super excited to shoot back.
Very excited to see where that goes. Brandon.
Hi, everybody. My name is Brandon. I go by the DMB on. You can find me on Twitter at the DMB __, or on several other places, all over on Twitch and things like that. But Twitch is the easiest way to get updates about me. Tonight I am playing Maximus Habitus, the La Sombra, who is also being shot at and may or may not shoot back.
A little Sombra ready to shoot back. And last but not least, Alex.
Hey, everybody. I am Alex Hillman. I am a partner here at the Bear Pen and also a writer, developer, brand manager, bunch of other hats over at Hunters Entertainment. You might recognize me from shows here on this channel like Blood on the Bayou, or here in Undead in Dallas, or from our series over on Hunters Entertainment, Rag and Bone. Tonight I'm going to be playing Tech, the resident Nosferatu of the Coterie, who at the end of last session had a really good roll that he made to decipher a bit of information and clues. So, yeah, that'll be interesting to see what exactly he turned out, since we kind of left that hanging in the air at the end of last episode, and see where we go from here, because, yeah, it's getting intense.
Mm-hmm. And I'm Ari. I'm the storyteller for this. I'm also a member of the Bear Pen partners. Mostly you can find me here or on Blood on the Bayou, where I play Elijah. On social media, you can find me on Twitter, Small Shadow Snack, which is just at this point in time a possum collective. So if you like possums, go ahead and go over there and like a bunch of possum photos. Like, it's fine. But tonight we are going to be back in Dallas for episode 3, Veritas. Welcome back, everybody. Our coterie has had an interesting couple of nights, but this is the continuation of our last episode where our coterie did a split up. Rhea went with the Sheriff Ash to speak to the Tremere Primogen about some blood, while Alice, Maximus, and Rich went to talk to a Malkavian, where they also got a shot fired at them. But first, we will be focusing on Tech. You are in the zone. Your brain is completely ready to unravel this puzzle. Where do you put Toast down in your haven? And describe your haven for us.
So once you actually make it through the kind of maze of tunnels that Tech has designed leading up to his actual branch sewer block, it suddenly goes from like a very dreary kind of almost cave atmosphere because the tunnels themselves start off after coming off of a branch pipe from the actual main sewer system, and then the tunnels that he has are self-designed. Um, so it's kind of you go from a sewer vibe to kind of a caving vibe, and then finally you come out into a larger room once you've made it through the maze that actually feels more like a contemporary apartment. So he's the walls themselves are just general plain stone. But he does have a few odds and ends up on the walls, like various bits of art and posters and things like that, as well as his kind of conspiracy theory pegboard, where at the moment he has all of the various clues and details that he's gathered up with the Coterie so far about this particular mystery that they're working on in regards to trying to find one of his clanmates. Um, Around there's some general furniture and stuff like that. Now it's not like top end stuff that he keeps down in here. It clearly looks like stuff that's been left out curbside and things like that during citywide pickups and people moving and stuff like that, just dumping stuff on the curbside. But he does have a desk, and that has his computer set up. He has a kind of workbench area that has a bunch of various technical components and laptops and various things in different states of being built and taken apart. But yeah, it kind of just has a general apartment-y vibe in here. He probably initially set Toast down over on the couch that he has in there, knowing full well that it's very likely that Toast will kind of start going around and doing what Toast wants to do in the Haven, which Tech is generally fine with. The way he has his setup, it's not very likely that a rat's going to get into a ton of trouble in here.
Yeah, she also does have what looks to be either a sprained or a broken paw, so she's very just keen to like lay down on the couch. And after a few moments, you do hear this squeaky little snore as a hint that she's probably fallen asleep. But as you're working, the video that you receive from Rory, do you keep it on your tablet or do you move it to the desktop?
I think Tech would probably, unless he felt that there was some reason to move it over to another system, he'd probably just run it on the tablet.
Okay. I was trying to visualize in my head your setup. So as you're bouncing between your desktop, the tablet, stringing poster boards, little sticky notes, like moving things around, you're waiting on Rose to arrive because you did get in contact with her. You do know she's on her way. How long it takes Rose to get there depends on Rose. Her on her ways are either I'm on my way at this instant or I will be on my way in like an hour or two. So you know you have some form of a window, and you just fall into work. You know Rose will knock and leave you alone while you work. You're bouncing between the recordings, the video, managing to unclutter Patrick's notes on his PC, manage to get his photos into a more organized setup so you can view them. And you start to piece together the timeline. You get the dates when he first started, which of course corroborate with what Mateo told you, and that he has been looking into a possible Second Inquisition cell. He's also looking into why they're there. He doesn't know that there haven't been a lot of Masquerade breaches. Dallas is fairly Masquerade conscious. You know that if someone does break the Masquerade, it's handled very quickly to avoid the Second Inquisition coming into town. In his notes, you notice Patrick's not the first to go missing. There has been 6 others, mostly out of the Caitiff and Thin Blood communities, which you know, given that Dallas is a cameraless city, neither are looked at very closely nor are they really tracked. They're mostly just left alone, like if they're not causing problems. There is also a gangrel that went missing, which you do notice in Patrick's notes that the primogen of Clan Gangrel, Ridley, has kicked up a bit of a fuss, but also that the Gangrel has been listed as being an anarch, so it's in theory that he's been moving in between the anarch territories, which is what Patrick's initially put down, is possibly just moving in between the borders, but he has put out feelers to see if he can find them. In addition, you do see he's noted where the Second Inquisition headquarters is. They are located out of a small building towards North Dallas, so kind of nestled almost in like a very heavily populated area where it won't be too noticeable their comings and goings. Like they don't look out of place. Patrick does say bit of a walk to get to from where he was. He says he did take the tunnels the most of the time, or took his own car. As you're continuing to go through, you do see in his notes where he picked up when the Sabbat came to town. In his notes, because they were at the abandoned ice cream parlor that was near his own haven, he did clock that a week before he disappeared, they did arrive into town. The pack consisted of 5 members, a Nosferatu, a Toreador, a Thin Blood, a La Sombra, and all Patrick puts is a doctor with a question mark by it, possible ghoul. And you do get from Patrick's notes that when they came to town, they were all badly injured. And he does put, for the Sword of Cain, not too bad people. Mostly sticks to themselves, doesn't seem to want trouble. And he does make a mention in one of his voice notes that he's not reporting them to the sheriff on the account of they have made it clear they're not staying very long, but that their Thin Blood companion was badly injured and they were trying to stabilize them enough for travel, which you've spent time dealing with some Thin Bloods. You do know that some of them tend to be on the more mortal side of frailty. So you get that that's probably what was happening in this case. You do see he puts a little humorous note of Rose has charmed the Malk across the street. And then you do get when just like little things like talk to the Nos over there, bit cagey. Looks like they fled from down south. Second Inquisition on their trail. Nos said it's been handled. And as you replay your meeting with Remy in your mind, you get the impression that he was probably still injured. You do remember, like, now that you're thinking back, he kept, when he was untenebrous, he kept his body in like a more stiff position. You get he was favoring his left side a bit more than normal, so that he was probably distracting you guys a bit more from where his pack was, simply because of Maximus being there. More so than anything else, it was probably he was the one that was the most healed out of them, and just giving a sense of, I'll distract them while you guys can like move. And as you're going through, you're looking at the photos, you're looking at the recording that Rory gave you on your tablet. You've replayed it a couple times just to get the details down. Does Tech have a front door?
Yes. Honestly, not really even for security purposes. It's more just for his clanmates who would come down to join him, or anyone else to be able to have a sense of decorum as they come into his haven.
So is it like a normal front door? Like, is it metal?
It is like an exterior house screen door that he has rigged up at the entrance.
As you're rewatching the video, re-going through, like pinning notes, like you're very intensely focused on this, you do hear a slight like knock. It's almost like nails just gently tapping against the frame. And you do see Rose standing there on the outside, like she just kind of gives you a little wave. And you're used to what she looks like. This isn't your first time seeing the whip of your clan. She's kind of hunched over a little bit. You do know her name is not actually Rose. It's like most Nosferatu, it's given to her. Her skin and hair are like nicely contrasting shades of pastel pink, with like some purple scalage across her face. Her mouth is more reptile-like, so her jaw and her mouth go a little farther back, and you do see like her very friendly like little wave, and she shows you some very sharp set of teeth. Like you know that if she bit you, it'd probably hurt more. She's wearing a black hoodie. She's got it up over her hair. You can see by how it is that she's got all of her hair pulled up in a bun, and it's kind of a little lopsided. She's wearing, like, you can see her little t-shirt, her leggings that go down to where her feet are, and her feet are very cat-like, just without the fur. And her hands are long, with long fingers that end in little claws. And she's waving at you. She's got her little a bag in her hand, and you know, all Nosferatu know that if they're families or they see an injured animal, same with the gangrel, they call Rose. She's a former vet technician in life.
Tech kind of looks over his shoulder and then just waves Rose in while he goes back to what he's working on.
She slides in. She goes over. She taps you on the head, just as like a hello, but she can see you're working, so it's like she's like, I'll let you focus. She goes over.
Point over at Toast on the couch.
You see her like hunker down the best that she can in front of the couch, like puts her bag down, and like pulls out some, like, it looks like sunflower seeds or like a small trail mix to put like a little bit next to her, like unscrews a cap of like a water bottle to put like some little water in a little container, puts it down, and then just gently wakes her up so she doesn't like scare her, and she just sits and works. And you hear them occasionally squeaking back and forth. You can see they're having their own little conversation while she's bandaging her up and giving her a once over. And you go back to your research, knowing Rose will tell you what she finds out. And when you're going through it, you do know that something seems off. You've, in theory, had a run-in because of your work with Anarchs. You've had a run-in with Kieran before. You know that this man is on the punch first, ask questions later spectrum of La Sombra. He fits in really well with Bruja. He's constantly mistaken for one. That it seems weird. This man does not have the brain cells to align with the Second Inquisition. And you're focused more on the video now. You've made your notes, you've cleared all that away. And you're replaying the section where the lamp outside went off. At first you thought it's probably an Oblivion ability. In theory, he could have popped a shroud. But as you're watching it, you don't see that. There's no telltale darkness that a La Sombra uses. There's no wisps, there's no darkness around the building. You get the sense that Kieran had somebody click the light off for him. Who it is, you can't honestly consider at this moment because you don't have the information. Patrick doesn't have any of those notes on him. He did say possibly working with somebody, but Patrick couldn't figure that out either.
Okay.
And when you're like sitting there watching it, replaying it again, you do hear Rose speak. Like she leaves toast on the couch, happily drinking and eating, like she's a happy rat. She's just like, so I splinted her arm. It looks broken. I can't take an X-ray of it here, and I don't want to take her with me. She's very clear she wants to stay with you. I can't. And no offense, Tech. I can't understand why. But she said that okay, and I'm translating from rat, so you're gonna have to understand that they don't think the same way, like that they got different words for things. She said cat in the dark, which I'm assuming from what you know, Ash has been pinging saying it was you're dealing with a shadow. I'm assuming that's what she's talking about. When they attacked Patrick, she was flung and she's kind of bruised on the one side. She's fine. She'll be fine. She got out one of the holes in the wall. She says when she got around the building because she could hear him outside. It was dark, but like she's a rat. She can see a little bit. She said, how does she put it? The shadow kept looking up. I don't know what that means. She said there was a unblinking eye. But again, you know, rats, that can mean almost anything.
Okay. Interesting.
But I bandaged her as best as I can. I'm gonna leave you some water and food. You need help with anything else?
Not just this moment. I think I got everything I need right here. But I appreciate it, Rose. And I'm sure Patrick appreciates it too.
Yeah, you're welcome. You know, this whole thing's been a little been a little weird. And she's like looking over your notes like like she's trying to piece them together. She's not really the investigation sort. Like this is not really her thing. But she's like just getting a look over. She goes, danger scale. How much should I tell Sam? Because she's gonna ask. And if I say you're involved, she's gonna want the whole story.
Well, I think we got this. We'll have this handled, but it might be best to at least put the rest of the brood on alert that we definitely have an Inquisition cell in town, and we definitely have some Sabbat in town.
No. Oh hell.
It's at least best everybody keeps their guards up and ears to the floor.
I'll notify them. You think it's Kay? Looks like Kay in that photo.
Oh yeah, it's definitely Kay, along with some friends. So
You know it's weird. Like he he's not really smart. Like he's the dimmest bulb in, if you can call a magister a dim bulb. Like the lights are not on upstairs for that boy. Like I don't understand at all on how he would have cooked all this up. Eh, You know, it's always been, I'd say Alois was always the smart one, but then, that man's plays chess like nobody's business.
well, he
Well,
definitely ain't working alone. But
well, I know he doesn't have his ghoul anymore. He's not supposed to be in town.
yeah, sure as Pack ain't supposed to be here either.
She's like looking at like you put some missing people. Did did Patty was Patty looking at this?
Yeah,
I could reach out. I'm slightly friends with some of the people on the other side of the border of of the domain. It's if Kay's involved, then we could have a little diplomatic issue if he's hiding over in one of the Anarch territories. It's gonna be a little tougher to get to him.
yeah. If you want to reach out to your contacts, that certainly ain't going to stop you.
Well, we'll see if they know where these people are. And she does. You did have the names. It looks like Patrick took the time to write down like the names next to who it was and like their clan next to them. And she does. She goes, can I have this note? Oh, hold on, I got a phone. I'm just gonna take a picture of it. You just see like she reaches into her hoodie like she had almost forgot she has got a phone because she's been a kindred for a while. It's phones for her. She's used to a flip phone, but she pulls out like a really cheap looking uh like smartphone. Like it's very obvious she's had it a few years. She just doesn't care to upgrade it. She just like takes a picture of it. I'll reach out to some people. If she should be fine. I gave her a treat. She likes dried cranberries. Weirdly enough. I'll see if I can get you some. Just until you find Patrick, 'cause I feel like you're gonna be babysitting a while. And you hear like an almost indignant squeak coming from the couch. Yes, I said babysit. You understood exactly what I said, ma'am. All right. Tech, go ahead and roll me 2 rolls. Your wits and streetwise, and then your wits and awareness.
Would the urban survival specialization come into play at all on the Streetwise?
Sure.
Whee! 4 successes on the streetwise check.
Okay.
And then don't get to roll as many dice with this one. Four successes on the awareness check too.
The one thing she said that gets your attention was Kieran doesn't have his ghoul anymore. You can't remember what happened with the ghoul. You do know that's probably the point of contention between him and Alois. But
Okay.
off the top of your head, you can't remember a name or like a face. It's been a while. And for your wits and awareness, that tunnel's getting a bit dark.
Tech will kind of nudge Rose and just tip his head slightly towards the tunnel.
See her, and she kind of tries to discreetly look, but again, how she's like a little hunched over, it's a little harder for her, so she has to shuffle a bit more to look. I hate to tell you this, but that don't sound good.
And while she's kind of looking over, Tech's going to take that moment to kind of step back, and he is going to throw up his unseen passage, as well as Silence of Death.
She turns back to like look at you, and you're gone, and she's just like, you just hear like this little sigh, and she like very discreetly tries to go pick up Toast to put her in her like dumps her down the front of her hoodie just to be like, okay, I got the rat, I'm gonna leave my bag. You gotta back way out of here, Tech.
Of course.
Uh,
Back right.
if I hand you Toast, is that gonna break anything?
Just head for the back right tunnel. I'll be right behind you.
Well, I was thinking about a distraction.
Yeah, I'll probably be the distraction.
I'll take Toast. And you do see her like, anything else you want me to take?
Tech doesn't respond.
You do see like she like reaches a finger down. It's one of her very long, just like hooks her bag, and you see her do like start to slide towards where your post turn is in your haven. She's like, you know, if it gets bad, you better get out of here, or say I'm gonna have my ass. And you do see her like, as soon as she gets towards the tunnel, as she vanishes from sight.
And for the time being, Tech is going to he's going to wait to see what comes into his haven at this point.
As you're sitting there waiting, out of the corner of your eye, you see your desktop screen start to flicker. And you turn your head very lightly to just look at it. The cursor is moving by itself. And you start seeing Patrick's notes disappearing.
That's fine. They're up here right now.
And then the screen entirely goes black.
That is the point where first I'm going to go ahead and make another rouse check here for going ahead and blood surging on physical.
Okay.
And that's a success, so don't get any hungrier. and that is when Tech is going to kind of lunge towards the laptop and kind of go in with a grabbing motion, making the assumption that someone's there actively doing something. So, and
The monitor is black, and you do see letters start to appear on it. It says knock knock. And at that point, the screen door is ripped off the hinges as the darkness starts to seep into your haven.
very good. Tech's still waiting for the darkness here. I'm assuming that there wasn't anybody actually at the laptop then, so he didn't end up getting a hold of anything as he lunged.
You didn't. You hit the laptop, and as you do that, you see the screen on your thing flicker again. And it says, "Come on, I'm not in person." And that's when you do hear heavy footfall slowly making your way into your flat. You hear a, "Well, hi, Tech. Been a while." And you recognize the voice. You've met Kieran a couple of times. And while it is dark, it hasn't quite reached you. It's like he's keeping himself a little bit more shrouded. But through the flickering shadows and the swirl of oblivion, you do get a glimpse of him. And Kieran is a tall, 6 foot tall man with short black hair that's streaked with silver. Not a full facial hair. Like it's a little like it's not scraggly, but it's like it's not a full beard, but it's like he's got some like residual stubble from his human life that's got silver streaked in it, brown eyes. "You're not gonna run? You want me to beat the hell out of you?"
I mean, you're more than welcome to try, but I don't think that's gonna go great for you, Kieran. You dumbass. You look like shit, by the way.
You know, I always wondered why y'all would try to attack another person on their appearances, given how y'all look. Like, I've never attacked anyone's appearance. It's an Nosferatu.
Of course, 'cause I'm drop dead sexy. There ain't no question about it. Now, what the hell you doing in my house?
Well, I was hoping you'd give me your technology and we wouldn't have an issue, but I feel like this is gonna be a fight.
I mean, if you really need a laptop, I can hook you up, but I don't see the point in trying to erase all my notes when you know damn well that it's all up in here.
That's fine then. I guess I'll have to take your head then. Roll me Dex and Athletics, because he's gonna try to grab you.
Right on. Five successes with a crit.
5 with the crit. You think you dodged. You're fairly certain. Did you pick up your laptop?
No, not necessary right now.
You feel as you go one way, his hand comes around and clocks you straight up. So you will take 1 point of superficial damage. Because it wasn't enough of a margin, you almost escaped him. You sure you want to play this game, Tech? Sure you and your friends don't want to live well enough alone and take a little vacation?
You know that ain't gonna happen, kid.
I don't know why you're so attached to the cam.
Who says I am? Business is business. I've been hired to do a job. Ain't nothing personal, bud.
Yeah, ain't nothing personal on here either, but I got a job to do, unfortunately. Are you gonna try and get out of his grasp? Because he's got you by the hoodie.
Uh. Hmm. No, I think I'm going to try to throw him for a bit of a loop.
Okay, go ahead.
Tech is actually going to jut forward at him and attempt to sink his fangs into him.
Okay, roll that attack.
Combat is not Tech's sport, strong suit, so we'll see how this goes.
We'll see.
That's going to be 4 successes with a crit, and it is a bestial.
You do see that you've caught him completely off guard. As he tries to back up, you do sink your fangs. Where were you aiming for?
So he's not going for this to be like pleasant in any way, shape, or form. So he's actually just latching into the area around his collarbone so that he can also use his collarbone as a way to hold him in place.
You hear what amounts to an absolutely angry hiss. And you know you've bitten in and you've got him, and he is trying to throw you off.
We're going to try to hold on. In fact, we're going to use the Haven to our advantage.
Okay.
So I think my next move is going to be, now that I've kind of got him held by the collarbone, I'm going to wrap my arms around his waist and attempt to do a soaring leap directly towards one of the rock walls of the Haven and just kind of use the force of potence to smash him into the wall.
Go ahead. And he is very much trying to give you a good old knock off.
I can't say that I blame him at the moment.
You get a sense that he was hoping for something else to be happening, and it has gone completely sideways for him. He was not expecting you to fight back.
Oh, let's see. Ooh, this is tough. Do I spend a willpower? See if I can get the crit or stick with what I got. Got 5 right now. I'm gonna stick with the 5.
Stick with the 5. You feel that he is trying to push you off, but that you do have a good enough grab of him that you do hear a very loud clutter as he hits the wall behind him.
And hoping to, if he can manage to do it, because this is going to be a little trickier after we've contacted with the wall, rather than let Kieran drop, he's going to attempt to keep hold of that collarbone and just rip him back up to a standing position.
Go ahead and try.
This is probably not going to work. 2 successes.
As you try to pull him up, you feel a hand come up and just grab you under the throat and throw you off with an unholy amount of strength. As the darkness starts to swirl around him, you do see two very thick black tendrils come out. And you know that that's the classic Arms of Araman for a La Sombra. He's like, you see him like doing this. Roll me a wits and awareness real quick. See how if you recognize him doing something.
Four successes.
4 successes. You do see him very briefly glance over to where your computer is, and out of the corner of your eye, you can see like the cursor, like it's a black screen with a cursor on it, and that cursor's like blinking, but it's blinking weird. And that's where we're going to cut over to the other three who are getting shot at. So Alice, Rich, and Maximus. There's been a bullet that just whizzed by your heads. What do y'all want to do?
Did it hit anything?
You see it just whizzed. It looked like they were aiming for somebody, but they moved unexpectedly. Like they weren't expecting them to move. Specifically, they took a shot at Rich. And Rich just moved enough that it just whizzed right by his head. And you see it hit, it goes through the window of the automotive shop. And from inside, you do hear like a little
Cloak of shadows. Gone.
shadows.
My reaction would probably be to whatever the trajectory of that bullet was. I'm assuming it would be easy to tell because it would have, gone by my head. To get behind whatever near cover is. I don't know if the car, I think we were walking up to the car, but I may be wrong.
You were walking up to the car. So the car is your cover for Alice's 4-door sedan.
Perfect. I'm in try and assess where the threat, who took the shot.
Roll me wits and awareness.
How is the lighting situation here?
There are streetlights. There are still lit. So you guys do have the advantage of being able to see in the light.
Okay.
All right. So wits and awareness, I got 1 success.
1 success. Perhaps it's the fact you're being shot at. It is a little hard to tell where it's coming from at this point because you've like hunkered yourself down behind the car. You do know it is coming from the vicinity diagonal from you, which is where the strip mall is. You just don't know where on that strip mall. It's exactly pinpointed.
Okay, well, I'd probably announce it, shout out, somewhere in the strip mall. Does anyone have eyes on him?
Maximus and Alice can roll wits and awareness.
I'm gonna go ahead and use my lore sheet for the night to gain access to shadow perspective.
I'm going to activate Sense the Unseen.
I get hungrier.
You want a separate Sense the Unseen roll, or do you want to add aspects?
Go ahead and add aspects.
So I'm just gonna use Rich's advice of where he thought the shot came from and try to view the area over there through the shadows that are covering it.
Okay, go ahead.
7.
7.
4 successes.
4 successes. Alice, as you're hiding with your obfuscate and you're stepping back maybe a little bit into the automotive shop, you can see Nico a little bit out of your peripheral. You're using Sense the Unseen. You can see him even in his obfuscation. He's like flattened himself a little bit, like down behind what appears to be an old counter that's holding on for dear life, just kind of like wide-eyed staring at you like, what did you guys bring to the neighborhood? And out of the corner, as you're looking back out from atop the building, you can see a flash of another muzzle shot, and you know exactly where they are. Maximus, with your shadow perspective and you're looking across, you let the darkness cover your vision, and you see the roof of the abandoned strip mall. On top, nestled down, is a young woman in fatigues and a jacket with a sniper rifle aimed at you. As
I
she
also forgot to mention that I rolled the 1 on that rouse check, so I'd get another stain.
Okay. And you do feel you can see as she pulls the trigger to take another shot. Rich, Maximus, did you hide behind the car?
No, I'm still standing in the street. Is she
Roll
aiming at me or Rich?
She's aiming at you. She sees you. Roll me a Dex and Athletics.
And he hasn't said where it's coming from yet. No mention of it yet.
Does this look before that, does this look particularly like, is this like a military grade sniper rifle, or is this like something that you can buy at Walmart?
This is a military grade sniper rifle.
Shit. All right.
You can see she is tactically laid out. She's got an earpiece in her ear. She's wearing a set of goggles that appears to be night vision. So she is like expecting to be shooting in the dark. And that's
Okay.
when the lights start going out. Click, click, click.
I got 5 successes with a messy critical.
5 successes. Was it a messy?
Mm-hmm.
Your beast is snarling. You're a Lasombra. Nobody shoots at you. Nobody shows you this level of disrespect. And as you're trying to move out of the way, you feel the bullet punch into your shoulder.
Ooh, okay.
And you will take 1 superficial damage from that because you are a kindred.
Okay. Do I have a compulsion or anything like that?
Your beast, as the bullet pierces through your skin, writhes in anger. It wants you to completely destroy this person who is firing at you.
Harm?
Dead.
Okay.
This person needs to be past tense for daring to shoot at you.
All right. I just kind of, Maximus lets out a quiet snarl, and I'm sure everybody now could have seen where that shot came from, because you don't miss muzzle flash from only a few dozen feet away. I'm going to start running in that direction while activating Oblivion Sight, so I can still see. And since I know where this person is, I'm gonna activate Arms of Armon to try to like come up from underneath her on the roof and like pin her down to the ground so she can't shoot again.
Go ahead.
I would like to scry the soul on her.
Sure.
I get hungrier again. It wasn't a 1 this time.
It wasn't a 1 this time. Excellent. Excellent.
So that is 3 successes against her composure and subterfuge.
Composure and subterfuge. What was your roll?
3.
You feel her actually like push you completely.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna spend a willpower.
Go ahead. Trying to remember what the resist roll I think is for arms of Araman. If it has one. Can't remember. off the top of my head.
It's just a. I got the book open. Hold on, let me tell you.
And Ellis, at that point, you do feel, and you all feel your phones vibrate. Like there is a text that is sent to all of your phones.
I'm going to duck behind something and check it.
You do see Nico like hiding is like
I'll
just
go over
like
to
come
him.
over here. It's
I'll go
safe
over to him, check my phone, and then go invisible again.
You see the text message, and it is from Abigail, who is Mateo's ghoul. You get a Rose texted me. Tex got trouble at his place, and you get the sense that she's typing very quickly, so it's like tech, the @ sign, his place. Thinks Karen isn't working alone. Possible, and you get the sense that she chuckled a little bit when she had to type this. Possible tech expert.
She
And
texts. Oh, go ahead.
looking into it. Got an idea. Will text you back if it's who I think it is.
She texts back being shot at mechanic.
You get the horror
Yeah.
emoji. It just a need backup question mark question mark question mark.
She will shout out, "Do we need backup?"
Maximus is not paying any attention. I got 6 successes, and she needs to roll resolve and composure.
Resolve and composure.
Oh man.
Let's see.
If she does beat me, the arms become like illusions. They just don't grab her, but I can try again next turn.
She does not.
Okay.
You do hear like it's taken her by surprise, like it wasn't something that she was expecting. So you do hear like a very woof.
Whatever the margin was, add 1 to the damage from my
Okay.
potence.
So your roll was what?
6.
So would this be ag or superficial for a human?
It's just superficial.
Excellent. You do.
And again, this is just me. I'm still running.
Yep.
To get to her.
You so go ahead and make me, how are you getting up to the roof?
I would look for any type of something that I could use to help climb up there.
So on the back of the building, there is a fire escape. Looks like there's like a maintenance hatch to get up to the air conditioners that are on there. And you do know that she was against one of the air conditioners, like she was using it if she had to draw back real quick as cover.
Okay. And I'll just, while I'm sure it's not going to take me a short amount of time to get there, I'll just be making sure that I'm holding her with the arms while everybody else is doing whatever they're doing until I get up there.
Rich, what are you gonna do?
I think I am going to I'm assuming Oblivion Sight is going to help me here, right, as the darkness. So activating that, also probably activating toughness.
Okay.
Rouse check for that, right?
Yes.
Which I just roll my hunger?
Yes. 1 die.
1 die. Okay. 0 successes. So that goes
So you
up.
get one hungrier.
Cool. And then, assuming I was acting almost, in line with everybody else's actions, I'd probably have, upon realizing where they were coming from and seeing Maximus move forward, sort of in the open, I would have probably tried to lay down some cover fire towards the sniper.
Okay.
How far did you say she was?
So where the automotive
Yeah.
is across the street from the doctor's office, and there's like a lot of land that's like empty. Looks like it used to be the parking lot for the doctor's office, that there's nothing there. And then there's the strip mall. So she's like not at the very edge of the strip mall. She's kind of like, if you were to like look at it as a separate separate businesses were there, she's the
Yeah.
second one in. So she's
Okay.
like diagonal-ish from you. So you can go ahead and roll in a firearms roll.
Sweet. Where'd my little thing go? There it is. Let's see. So it's just firearms?
Dex and firearms.
Dex and firearms. Cool. So 7, 2. Oh man, I don't know what this means. It says 7 successes, but it says possible messy crit.
Yep.
What is that? What does possible messy crit mean?
Your beast, like Maximus's, is very displeased you are being shot at, particularly because the first bullet went by your head. So you're like, she
How
was
dare she?
aiming at me.
Why's everyone gotta
first."
hate on me so much?
And you are so enraged. You just pull out your gun and shoot at her. And you do hear that you strike her in the shoulder.
Beautiful.
And your beast, like Maximus's, wants her dead.
Cool. I will try my best to do my due diligence. And I think that would probably be it. I'd probably be watching. I imagine Rich, in light of the interaction with, oh, sorry, what was it? Remy? Is that the name?
Mhm.
And seeing kind of what Oblivion can provide, the kind of power and kind of almost safety it can provide. I imagine Rich would be a lot more trying to kind of be cognizant of what kind of shadow powers are available and what can be done.
Okay.
Trying to master his own. So I imagine this would be very much me sort of watching what's about to unfold with Maximus.
Okay. So roll me a separate wits and awareness. Maximus, have you
Okay.
reached those stairs? You think he's reached those stairs yet? Up on the roof? You do see her. Looks like the bullet just missed her bulletproof vest in her shoulder, and you do see, you get the feeling the reason she couldn't dodge it was because of your arms, was holding her very tightly. And you do see like her hand is still on her gun enough to fire another shot, but it's at this point she can't aim decently, so it's like it's a while off. You see it go through the automotive window for the second time. And Alice, you do hear the Malkavia next to you be like, "This is my place. Why are there bullets in my place?"
Because someone's shooting at us. That's where the bullets come from.
I figured that, but why?
Because they don't want us alive.
Oh God, are these the people who own these tires coming back to seek revenge?
I don't think so, but maybe.
You do see him like shrink utterly down as if he's trying to sink into the floor, but he's not getting anywhere. He's just like,
I think they're probably not here for you, given they're shooting at my friends.
"Do your friends steal
Specifically.
tires too?"
No, they do much, much, much different things.
I'm gonna activate prowess.
What?
These dice are not my friend. Well, they're not her friend tonight. I'm in hunger for her.
Oh heavens.
Hmm. So I do also have lethal body just in case she is immortal. I don't know if she is immortal or a kindred at this point, but because of that
With
messy crit,
with the blood dripping from her, you're fairly certain she's human. And because you were
fantastic.
at hunger 4, you're gonna have to make me a frenzy roll.
Oh. I would be happy to roll a hunger frenzy check.
On
That-
that awareness roll, I got 3 successes and 1 possible bestial failure.
So 3 successes.
Yeah.
Okay. You can, in the dark, you can see that she's not moving anywhere, but you can see the shadow tendrils that are hooking her into the ground. So you're like, oh, we can do that?
Mm.
You're like, that I need to possibly look into getting that.
I passed with 5 successes.
Excellent. Your beast does rise up at the smell, and it smells nice. It smells very nice. You are very, very hungry. And it's urging you. Just train her. Train her. Give us what we want. And you're like,
Oh, actually, I should make a point of clarity here that I have stigmata.
oh. So in addition, you do have blood dripping from your forehead and your hands. And what are you going to do? Because she can't move.
I just whisper to myself, patience, patience. You will get yours. And I will walk up to her, not running at this point, but because I don't feel like she's going anywhere. And before she can pull the trigger again on another shot, I'm going to grab her arm that she is using with her trigger finger, and I'm going to use Touch of Oblivion on it.
Okay, go ahead and roll, because she can't move. And it
I
is gonna
did
be
pass
her.
my rouse check that time.
Alice is going to text Abigail back. The Shadow Boys got it.
And you just get a thumbs up, Geef, and then good to know. I've texted group chats so everybody kind of knows, but I'm gonna let and you do get the like a little dog emoji, and then and then like a sheriff's star badge, or like the little emoji with the hat. I'll let them know.
Is she able to avoid me? Okay,
Her
then there's
arm
no
is
roll
how
necessary.
the because of the successes of margin you had, she's essentially like you've wrapped her upper torso to a point where she can't really move one way or another, and you have pinned her shooting arm,
Okay, so
which is her left arm, so it's very easy for you to get to that one.
on Maximus's left hand, he has a ring that matches his necklace, and so from that ring, as he activates Touch of Oblivion, this inky blackness starts to like envelop his hand, and he just reaches down, grabs onto her whole upper arm, and she takes 2 aggravated damage and a crippling injury as the bones become brittle in her arm and the muscles it rapidly ages that limb.
You hear her start to scream, which I will not do for our lovely viewers' eardrum's sake and for everybody else's sake. She does start to scream, and you see her trying to rock back and forth as she's trying to pull her arm away. And as you're up close with her now, you can see her tactical gear is very official looking. You get the feeling that she is most likely a member of a special forces of some sort. Whatever decal was on it, they've removed it, so you can't tell. But you get the feeling that she's been more expertly trained.
I lift
than
her
most.
up with the arms, like holding onto her arms still. The arms pull her body up so that she's making eye contact with me. Eyes are solid black.
As you lift her, roll me a wits and awareness.
Four successes.
As you're lifting her body up, you notice two things. Number one, she appears to have a badge tucked into her belt that doesn't have anything on the outside, like the badge isn't on the outside, but you from experience know that that's probably an identification card of some sort, which would say the branch she's with and her name, her address, that sort of things. And as you lift her farther to make eye contact with you, you glance down. There is a small metal box that her body was blocking, and it has 15 seconds on it, and it is counting down.
Okay. How many actions do I have time for with those 15 seconds?
I will give you time for 2.
Okay. The first one, he just you've always got a plan B. And the arms will wrap around her neck and just break it.
She goes completely limp.
And then we'll drop her to the ground. And I'm going to attempt. What does the area around here look like?
Straight down.
Mm-hmm.
So it has on top of the roof, there are where each shop would be is 2 big of those industrial AC units. So there's one where the bomb is next to, where she was. There's one on the other side. Straight down is the pavement and the sidewalk. And then back is where the stairs were.
Okay. I make sure to drop her on top of the bomb.
Okay.
And I also like dive on top of her body.
Okay.
I'm going to try to use both of our bodies to absorb as much of the blow as we can.
As you drop, and you do feel she is wearing armor, so that is going to give you enough of a barrier. You do feel it, and you will take 2 points of aggravated damage as you are flung back and over the side of the building.
All right.
And we will transition to Anne. Your phone has been blowing up with all these text messages between Alice and Abigail. Tech's in trouble. Creepy Shadow Boy's probably working with somebody, and they're getting shot at. And Tech's in trouble. Like, well, what is going on? You do see like Ash is in the car next to you as you're on your way back, and she's just like, she's got her head tilted as she's reading Tech, like she's responding. She goes, "Oh, Miss Rhea, could you drop me back by your Coterie Haven so I could get my car? I'm Mateo's requested to meet me. It's an ASAP meeting. I think your friends are in a little trouble. I don't know if you know where Tech lives, or how quickly you can get back to that dental office."
Do I know where Tech lives? That's a good question.
Has Tech told anybody where he lives besides the Nosferatu?
Probably not. He's probably given some form of way to let him know that you're trying to get in contact with him, but not exactly where his haven is.
Cool. So I tell Ash, absolutely, we'll totally go back to the coterie. I know you have to run, but I need your help real quick.
Oh, of course. What would you need my help with? What can I help you with? You do get the sense she's also a little distracted,
Yeah.
and you're still getting like text messages on your phone of like between Alice and Abigail, and Abigail's like, "Is everything okay?" Like she's very obviously like worried, and you just see Ash go, "Yes, it's a very busy night. Yes, ma'am."
I'll go as fast as we can to the coterie and pull into the parking lot. I'm going to climb over the two front seats into the back area where there's a little bench where the bed is, kind of sitting on top of or underneath. I'm going to beckon her into that section of the van.
You do get the sense like she's about to do it, and then she like pauses like to check to make sure it's okay, and then you do see her slide, not nearly as elegantly as you would think given how elegant she looks, but she just
I just need your help for a real quick second.
Yes.
Do you trust me?
Oh, you haven't exactly given me any reason not to. I mean, unless you're gonna like bite me, and then perhaps I could not trust you, but I think it's okay.
I just need you to keep a lookout just for a moment because I'm going to trust you, okay?
You see her eyes get like a little milky white as she's activating Sense the Unseen.
Ooh,
So just so
nice.
like she's prepared for anything, and you do see her like she's like ducking her head every once in a while. Just like, okay, I can keep a lookout. That's not a problem.
Thank you. I go into my purse, my carpet bag, and I pull out the vial that I kept for myself that we assume is Patrick's blood.
Okay.
I'm going to open that vial, take a little bit of it on my thumb. I'm going to taste it and then take the rest of it and smear it on my forehead and activate premonition.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me your premonition.
Ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. All of them are 10s.
Excellent. Oh,
Yeah.
all of them are 10s.
Yeah.
So that's 8 successes with 2 crits.
8, yeah.
I'm good at some things too.
You're focused on Patrick.
Mm-hmm.
This sweet Nosferatu with a rat named Toast. And you're focused on finding him. As your vision ripples out, you feel a cold feeling, almost as if the area where he is very cold, or if his body is very cold. A steering sense of lights, and a faint clicking noise. As if like a door is being opened and closed, open and closed. The sounds continue to come to you as you're trying to figure out where is he. You hear keys typing, and you get a brief flash of a logo. The logo is a flame that's giving off light, and that's when your vision ends.
As I come back, I turn to Ash. A logo, a flame, a flame that's giving off light that's burning. Does that mean anything to you in Dallas?
You just see she's sitting there for a second, and her eyes go very wide. Eloise has a company. It's called Firelight Encryption Services. It's his Ghoul's data encryption center. And you just see her pause for a second, and she goes to grab her phone to text Maximus, and Maximus does feel his phone ping for whenever he looks at it. Do you think he's in danger? He's normally there most nights.
That Patrick's in danger or Maximus is in danger? We're all in danger.
Well, I know we're all in danger, but Alois is there most nights.
I'm torn. We need tech, but I don't know where he's at.
I'll go get tech. You go get your friends. If that's where Patrick could be keeping, I have a feeling I know who that other person is. And you do see her slide out of the van. She goes, "Thank you for driving me, and I do hope we get to see each other again in better circumstances." And she like turns and like runs toward her car where you can see was parked a little bit of ways. Like she is in full like she's like pulling her hair back up into like a clip. So she's like in business mode.
Nice. I slam the door. I hop into the front seat. I turn on Def Leppard as loud as I can, and I'm peeling out for the garage. I'm going to pick those guys up.
Excellent. Maximus, your phone rings.
I imagine that's not the first priority for me right now. I would be surprised if it survived. But yeah, so
you have one of those little Nokia phones, right?
yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's fair.
That thing has survived.
Okay. That's very fair.
It is the hardiest phone. You honestly thought it was broken, and you're just like, oh, awesome.
Just
so
so
works.
Having been blown off of the roof, so here's my first reaction. This is Maximus's train of thought. How bad was the explosion, seeing as the two of us are on top of that bomb?
She absorbed most of it. The air conditioning unit is completely gone. It's a little smoking up there, but it's metal, so you don't think it caught anything on fire.
Mhm.
The roof is another story. You can see it's a little, it's not like engulfed in flames, but there are pieces of the roof that are on fire that have just fallen inside what looks to be, you think, a sandwich shop of some sort at one point in time. The counters are mostly gone. It looks like people have gotten in there and like busted it up, but you do see it's falling inside. There's flames flickering along the roof.
Okay, second thing is, I would have tried to hold on to her as much as I could have to like carry her with me as the explosion happened. I understand if that didn't happen, but that would have been my goal.
That, and again, content warning, that did not happen.
Okay.
You carried some of her with you, but it's not as you intended.
Okay, I figured. So Maximus laying on the pavement after being blown off of the top of a building and falling, that far, ears ringing, singed all over from the explosion, and the remains of this person all over the front of him. Just
As you're laying there, everybody that's there, make me a wits and awareness roll.
One success.
One success.
Mm. 6 messy crit.
6 messy crit. Maximus, you roll.
Oh, you want me to roll?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, you are still there. You may be staring up at the stars, but you're still there.
That's 7. I missed one.
6 without a crit.
Rich, it's probably, if you could still have adrenaline, it's probably still the adrenaline in your body. Focused on you. You can't see anything. Alice, you're inside the shop. Maximus, you're outside. Alice, you can hear what sounds like a vehicle driving away. Maximus, you're outside. You can see what looks like a black van peeling away from that location.
From the back of the building, the front of the building.
Where the explosion was, across the street is the ice cream parlor.
Yep.
It was peeling from behind the ice cream parlor.
Do I get eyes on anybody inside the van?
As it starts to drive away, the lights do start popping back on. You briefly see in the driver's seat what looks like a very young, very pretty young woman with very dark black hair, piled up on a bun, very pale skin. And you do see in the passenger seat what looks like a very tall person in a hoodie. Who is like got their hood up over their face enough. And with your experience, you're guessing that's probably an Nosferatu and that the driver's probably a Rose. Just by how pretty they are.
Are they within range of an arm?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so.
Alice is going to attempt to try and like catch a license plate or something, but she's not very fast.
Go ahead and try. Let's see. Make me another wits and awareness roll.
Meanwhile, Maximus is just sitting up and like brushing the viscera off of him.
How good of a kind of seat did I have to all of that?
You were behind the car still, like you had ducked back down when you heard the explosion. And I imagine you like peeked a little bit over the hood. And you do see Maximus is laying on the ground. Probably not very happy.
I suppose I'd probably be approaching that kind of gun still in hand, but down at the side. Approaching Maximus. I mean, the boy just went off of a entire rooftop.
5 crit, almost a messy a bestial fail, but it's 5 crit.
You are able to get the very first license plate is 6. Trying to remember off the top of my head. 7. The first 4 letters. A J, an 8, an H, and a 4.
Alice will send those off to Abigail.
You do get a little peace sign on it. Tech, you are having a showdown with a La Sombra in your underground lair.
It's true.
He has pushed you off of him. What are you going to do? You can feel your phone vibrating, but I don't think that's really the most important thing.
No,
right now
definitely not a top priority at the moment. Let's see here. Tech is actually going to go ahead and see what Kieran's going to do at this point. So after he gets tossed off, he's going to kind of just scramble back up to his feet. He's posted up and positioned in a way where it definitely looks like he's ready to act, but he's not necessarily taking the first move here.
You do see Kieran's like annoyedly wiping his neck where you bit him, just kind of like in disbelief that you actually bit him. And he's like, I can't understand why you are such an absolute pain in my rear. And you see one of the shadow tendrils shoot out at you. Roll me Dex and Athletics.
All right. This is why we blood surged.
Hmm?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
It's going to grab you, and you just sidestep it. It cracks against the wall. Like if it made a sound, it would. It just hits the wall. He kind of looks at you like a little furrowed brow. Huh, you actually are pretty quick.
That's some pretty little tricks you got there. Real cute.
Roll me wits and awareness as well.
All right. Uh, 4 successes.
You outside in the hallway. Kieran looks a bit distracted at the moment. You can hear footfall. And moving very quick. And you do know that this is probably someone with a supernatural level of speed zooming down the tunnel towards your place.
You said Kieran seems distracted by it as well?
Kieran's oblivious. He has not registered this at entirely all.
Gotcha.
For case in point, he rolled a 1 success. He was not paying a lick of attention. He is very much focused on you, like, I want to kill him, but at the same time, like, because he knows you, you feel like it's a bit more hesitant.
And
like,
for clarity, where I hear the footfalls coming from is by the main entrance into the haven,
Yes.
correct? Okay.
Yes.
Um,
And they're moving fast.
we'll see how this plays out. It could go a couple ways. Tech is going to go ahead and kind of reposition himself. He's moving and shifting in a way as to put Kieran in between him and the main entrance of the haven. Basically, his thought process here is if this is someone coming to assist me, this is going to put Kieran between a rock and a hard place. If it's someone coming to assist Kieran, he's still got access to the back of the room, which means he'll have a potential way to get to his postern tunnels and start making his way out of the haven if he needs to.
As Kieran's like trying to figure out, like, do I smack him again? Do I just reach out and grab him? Like, he's confused. You see a flash of black as a figure comes barreling out of the darkness and just slams into his back, sending him across the floor. And as you're looking at them, you recognize the form of Azra the Hound. She's like, we gotta go. Go, 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 go. Grab what you can, but we gotta go.
I think we're gonna piss off the Hound is what's gonna end up happening here. Tech is gonna give a little bit of a smirk and soaring leap directly onto the back of Kieran and pinning him to the floor.
She like looks at you, she's like, come on! Why are you the most difficult Nosferatu I have ever had to encounter? You do get this sense,
People
like,
come into
Kieran,
my house, they better expect some kind of retaliation.
you do see like Kieran is trying to push you off as he's trying to like slam himself up.
Definitely doing his best to just try to keep him pinned to the ground at this point.
Roll me your strength. Let's do strength and athletics. See if you can keep him pinned.
All right. Probably not. I'm dealing with somebody with actual potence here, more than likely. But hey, you know, we'll see how. So I forget officially, based on the ruling here. I've got critical 10s on 2 regular dice and a hunger die. So in theory, I could pair the 2 regular dice or a hunger die and a regular die. I can't remember if you have to pair the hunger with the regular.
I think official, it's the hunger die and one of the others, so it's a messy crit.
Okay, I mean, we're going to go ahead and take the messy crit in this situation. Damn keepers coming into my freaking haven and trying to mess with things. So 5 successes.
5 successes.
And a messy crit in keeping him down.
You're very angry at this man, and I will let you know he messy critted as well. But he got one more than you did.
Ah.
And you hear a entire snarl as his form sinks into entire shadow. And that is when Azra grabs you by the back of your hoodie and you both out of the apartment. As fast as she can.
Shortly after they get out of the haven and into the tunnels, after a few moments, Tech is going to actually grab a hold of her, and he's going to dart into a side tunnel as opposed to the direction that she's attempting to take. And
she just wanted you out of the apartment, and like she got you down far enough because she's very high celerity, so she was just like booking with you in tow, just like, nope, we're getting out.
Yeah, he's dragging her into a side tunnel. Once they're in the side tunnel, Tech looks very frustrated, but he's just going to kind of signal to follow, and he's going to start walking through the tunnels.
You do see she kind of like, she looks like at the moment she kind of wants to strangle you a little bit for like annoying the piss pot out of her, but she just is like, fine, I'll follow you. She's like, Ash said you were in trouble because Abigail said you were in trouble, and you know what? Your friends are getting shot at. I've got, evidently there's been an explosion on the other side of town. What is going on? And then, of course, that dumbass, she's gesturing back, she's like, he doesn't have the brain cells for any of this. Did he suddenly become smart? Which I highly doubt it.
No.
Last time I saw
certainly
him,
not.
He was, fist fighting a bunch of brouhaha.
He's a complete idiot. And he certainly ain't the brains behind all of this. You should have let me finish the job, though.
You know, I would have
he's-
let you, but Ash told me you were in danger and to get you out of there. She didn't say, kick his ass. She said, get you out of there.
People have a very strange interpretation of me being in danger. And he keeps jutting through various tunnels as they're going along.
You can hear her kind of muttering under her breath that you are the most frustrating Nosferatu she's ever had to deal with in her life.
You might think that, but
No, you are. You are. You are stubborn. Frustratingly stubborn. Frustratingly stubborn.
tell me you wouldn't have tried to eat his ass if he came into your house.
I mean, my roommate would have like incinerated his ass, so like I wouldn't have had to deal with him too long. But yeah, no, this is not what we expected at all.
At this point, they've been twisting and turning and backtracking so much that the hound is probably absolutely lost within the maze of tunnels.
She's not paying attention. She's following you, annoyed out of her ass with you.
Listen.
And every once in a while, you do see her like pull out her phone and like realize that there's either not signal or she's got just enough signal to send off a text.
Yeah, if you would have let me finish the job, you'd still have reception back in my house.
You know what? You know what? I would fight you right here and now, but I really don't have the time for this. Your friends are in just like, I'm assuming that's where the explosion was because you guys seem to find danger and explosions everywhere.
Comes with the
And
job.
where is Toast?
Toast is fine.
Rose said she was coming this way.
Toast is fine. Don't worry about it.
Why am I worried about a rat?
It's a good question. It's something you should look deep inside of yourself about. But this isn't really the time or the place for it.
Stuff you in a dumpster. Let's go. Let's get out of these tunnels. I don't like being underground. Let's go.
And he'll keep intentionally. Some of the path that he's taking is basically just to annoy her, making it take longer than it absolutely is necessary to get out of his tunnels, and to further make sure she understands that at any point, if he really wanted to, he could abandon her and leave her in this maze of a rat's nest.
You get the sense that she understands that you could. She just doesn't care because she's so annoyed with you right now.
And after he's made his point a little bit, he'll eventually take them down a path that leads eventually to a branch tunnel and then into a main pipeline in the sewer. We're downtown.
I figured this was the main area. Never mind. I'm going. I'm gonna go meet up with Ash. Because I was supposed to be in a meeting, but she said you were in trouble. So I had to come find you because I'm the fast one. Don't go back there and pick a fight with him.
Yeah.
Because I will let him eat you.
I'm not sure that's how it would go. He's got a bag of bricks in his head. Anyway, let me take care of some stuff.
Yeah, I'm going. Go get myself a smoothie. You see her, she's like walking to go climb up to the exit. She's grumbling under her breath.
And Tech's going to walk down the main pipeline for a little bit and eventually shoot off into one of the side connection pipes and walk down to a spot where he can come up to a storm drain. Not actually crawling out it, just getting up to it since he's not actually in his haven, and using that to get reception on the phone again. He's going to ignore any texts that are currently there and any messages, first and foremost. But he's going to send one to Maximus, and it's just going to say, storm drain on the corner of 4th Street and whatever would intersect with 4th Street, because I don't personally know Dallas. I'm just assuming that there is a 4th Street because there is one in every city pretty much. So, 4th Street and corner of 4th Street and something, storm drain. That's all it says. And then he's going to start making his way to actually be at that storm drain.
We'll shift back to the others. Rhea, you have arrived on the scene. There is a strip mall that has a smoking roof. You notice Alice's 4-door sedan has a shot-out window. And Maximus and Rich are like talking, but Maximus is laying on the ground. And you can see like Alice is like kind of like partially out of the auto shop with like a very nervous looking, which you can surmise is the Malkavian, just kind of like. Alice, are they aware that the roof is on fire?
Probably.
Small fire. Should I call the fire department?
Probably not. I think like someone else will do that. Not our job.
I'm going to go.
Okay.
No. It was nice meeting you, but I hope we don't have any more explosions or gunfire.
That's fair. Be safe. I'm gonna go probably get in more trouble because we still not done yet.
Oh heavens.
Yeah.
You do see like he goes back into the shop and like vanishes as he's like speed moving away. You do see he bumps into a stack of the tires and it kind of wobbles and it breaks his obfuscate and he looks a little annoyed, but then he just continues on as if it didn't break his obfuscate because you don't feel like he noticed.
The tires, not the tires.
He does like steady it and then just keeps walking.
I'll get out of the van and walk up to where Maximus is on the ground and take in what I see there. What is Maximus's state?
You're muted.
Thank you. Maximus is probably like propped himself up at this point. Maybe he's sitting. Yeah, I don't think he would have stood up so quickly, but he's probably sitting there. Just he's taking his hoodie that he was wearing off because it's completely destroyed. He's got a plain black shirt underneath it that's also kind of got like it's torn and it looks like it's singed in some places, as well as his arms are, and part of his torso that you can see through the shirt. There is black blood slowly trickling down from his forehead kind of onto his face, as well as you can see like there in the middles of the palms of his hands, on the back and the front, it's like welling up and kind of dripping. And he would have pulled out his phone at this point to check those messages.
If he lets me, I'll reach down and like push his hair back and look at his forehead and you too, huh?
Those of us that are blessed with the power that we retain are also cursed. And so this is the price we must pay.
Hold on a second. I go back to the van and I go rummaging around, and in my business, one always needs an extra set of scrubs. So I rustle up some black scrubs, and they're like literally just plain old generic scrubs, but they're black. And I bring them out and I hand them to Maximus. If you're getting in my van, we're changing though, because we're getting in the van, because I think I know where Patty is, kind of.
You must know that this is not going to stop immediately, and He just kind of closes his eyes for a second, and you can see the grip on the phone with prowess still being active is really tight, just white knuckling it. We need to call the fire department on an anonymous call and deal with that. What text messages did I get, Storyteller?
You received the entire conversation between Alice and Abigail. All of Abigail's emojis, which you know she tends to use to freehand her meaning. And then you
So they show up as the little boxes on my Nokia, right?
Yep. Yeah. You are lost in context
Yep.
with whatever her half of the explanation was. You get box and box notified, and you're just like, that could be anybody at this point in time.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
The other text you get was actually from Ash, and it says, "Have you heard from Eloise?"
If I recall correctly, Storyteller, I did talk to him close to the end of last night, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Maximus would roll his neck, just wipe some of the blood from his forehead and off of his face as it would start to slowly trickle again. He would take this. He would take his ruined shirt off right now. And everybody would be able to see his back has scars on it that look like they're from a Cat o' Nine Tails, and puts the scrub on, and then it just keeps the ruined shirt to like dab at the blood as much as he can whenever it starts to get too much. I need to eat. Somebody needs to call the fire department.
There's a call box up the road. We can get out of here and use the call box. Anonymous, right?
And I need to call the sheriff.
Alice will come out of the garage and go, "Did the Shadow Boys blow up, or are you good?"
I know you can see me right now.
That doesn't answer the question, though.
The one that was shooting at us is, well, it looks down at the viscera that's on the ground that he sloughed off of himself. Dealt with. There were at least two more. They fled from the ice cream parlor, and he points towards it in a black van.
Is there Vitae on the ground too? Like it's all just everywhere?
I wouldn't think that the Vitae would be on the ground because of the nature of the explosion. It's just more pieces of that person. Storyteller, you can correct me if you like.
Given that you were in an explosion, you're a bit crispy. So not really blood, but he's a little crispy.
Well, I'm gonna open a vial and take a little bit anyway. As I say, yeah, this is terrible.
Alice will look for Rich because she has not seen whether or not he blew up or not.
Oh, I'm right there by him. Oh wait.
Oh. Okay,
yeah, I'm
good.
right there by him.
Shadow Boys did not blow up.
Probably freaking out about how he looks like some kind of fucked up Judeo-Christian Captain America.
I'm fine, Rich. I will live to see another night.
I'll hand Rich a towel. It's that hospital mauve color, and some face wipes. And I say to Rich, when he's ready for these, and I hand them to Rich.
I will hold them. It's the least I could do.
So I used some of that blood that we found, and I think I have an idea of where maybe Patty is. So if we go to the booth, make the call, maybe we can make a plan from there. if you guys want to get in the van. Alice, does your car, like, how bad is your car?
Just the window route.
All right. Do you want to follow us?
Sure.
So instead of letting them get into the front seat of my van, I'll open the sliding door on the side and invite our shadow friends to get in the back of the van and close the door behind them if they get in.
And I do change out of the basketball shorts into the the scrub pants. Of note, you can also see black stains coming up on Maximus's shoes. Another ruined pair of shoes, I swear. Payless going out of business was my worst nightmare.
Alice, as you get into your car, your phone does ring.
Who calling me?
It's Abigail.
Oh, I'll answer it.
There, honey, it's been so long since I last spoke to you. Is everything okay?
There was gunshots and there was an explosion, and we're good.
You can hear her heels like clicking along on the on like a not linoleum, but like it's a tiled walkway, and you can tell she's moving kind of fast. Well, that's wonderful. Everyone okay? Did you all get like is everybody okay?
I mean, Max got blown up, but he's good. Like not like bad blown up, just like a little blown up.
Excellent, excellent. Well, you know, I was thinking about stopping to get sushi, and I was just wondering, you know, maybe if you wanted to go with me. And you do hear her kind of like click her heels, click a little faster.
Yeah, I'm bored.
Excellent. You do hear like a door open up, and she shuts it, and then you hear it lock. She goes, okay, I think I found out who the other person is.
Oh, you don't want sushi. Okay, continue.
No, unfortunately I'm being followed, but I have the other name. But I'm at the Firelight building, and you hear her like rustling with something, and she's like, Alice dear, I really don't think I'm getting out of this.
Oh, we come get you. Where you at?
First floor, ladies' bathroom.
Okay.
I'm in the big stall, the one at the end, and you do hear like the creaking of like she's opening the bin that's in most of the ladies' bathrooms, and she's like stuffing something in it. She's like, I printed out the emails just in case. Oh, you know, I
Okay.
never thought that this would have gotten us all into so much trouble.
Try and stay safe. We're gonna come get you.
Okay, I'm gonna try to stay safe. I'm hiding in the bathroom.
Okay.
But in case this goes south, and I know I'm probably gonna text Mateo, but could you tell Mateo I really appreciated everything he's done for me just in case.
Okay.
And roll me a wits and awareness as you're driving.
I'm gonna spend a willpower on that. 4 successes.
4 successes. She's talking very rapidly, but you think you heard a slight click of a lock coming undone before her phone line goes dead.
Okay. Okay, Alice is gonna call Rhea and say, I don't know where you're headed, but Firelight Building, Abigail's in trouble.
I do one hand it like I'm driving with my elbow, and I one hand answer the phone. Firelight. Yes, hold on. And I throw the phone back to Rich, and I pull in front of the call box.
I guess I go to catch it, but I don't think your phone might be in trouble.
That might not go the way you think it's gonna go. You threw it to the La Sombras in the back seat.
Rich, do you want to roll a wits or int and a technology roll to see if that phone's gonna be okay?
Yeah,
Because
so,
I'm assuming Ria's got a smartphone of some sort.
It's
so
yeah.
wits or int in technology.
Wits or int, whichever one's high.
Okay. Well, we're gonna hope he's as witty as his sheet says. Where's my little roller? There it is. 4 successes.
That's actually enough. Yeah.
That's enough. The phone
Bane
is
severity
fine.
+2. Yeah.
Your phone is like, you're
It's
holding
because you're
it.
still a baby. You're still
You're
young enough. The,
Yeah.
the
still a baby.
power hasn't.
And Maximus, you do know that you also need to pick up tech along with
Yep.
going to get food.
Yep.
Is Ria gonna go make an anonymous phone call to the police?
Yeah, I throw the phone back to Rich. I open the door real quick. I use the call box. I'm going to call and tell them that I think I see a fire, maybe somewhere by the ice cream shop. Like, I don't tell them exactly where it's at, but it'll give them a good enough direction. And before the operator can ask me anything, I hang up, hop back in, and whatever Rich is doing, I'll turn to Maximus and say, where is your best meal opportunity? Tell me where to go.
I give her the cross street that Tech gave me, corner of 4th and whatever street.
All right.
Mhm.
2 wheels, chunk, and we're off.
Alice is gonna head straight to the Firelight building.
Okay.
And I'm calling Ash.
Calling Ash. You do hear it takes a little bit. And it's not Ash who picks up the phone, it's another voice. And it's one that you haven't heard in a very long time. And you know that this person, that Dallas actually has 2 harpies. One is Tati, who has not been in town. She won't be in town for a week. The other is a Toreador by the name of Theodore. And Theodore hasn't been seen at court in like a year. All you know is that something happened and he needed to take a respite. But it's Theo who answers her phone. And you get a very soft, hello?
Ash. No. Wait. No, this isn't Ash. Who is this?
Oh, wait, who are you?
Do I recognize the voice?
You do. It takes a while for your memory to jog before you're like, wait a minute. I haven't heard your voice in like a year. Plus.
Theo, it's good to hear from you. Circumstances pending. I wish we had more time to chat. Where is the sheriff?
She's sitting, well, she was sitting right across from me. She,
Why are
kind
you
of-
answering her phone?
because she went to wash her hands and I have her phone. And it was rude to leave it ringing.
Fair. That is very polite of you. I need to talk to her.
Hold on. You do hear like he's walking, and you do hear like water running for like a little bit, and then she's like, it cuts off, and it's kind of muffled because he like holds the phone away from him, and he's like, you just hear, and then followed by Ash being like, yes, hello, Maximus.
Sheriff, I know that most of these new phones these days are waterproof. Don't try to treat it like it's a child. Why?
Why what?
Your text message.
Oh, well, we were supposed to have a cabinet meeting, and I texted him. He hasn't responded. But that's not unusual because his phone is really terrible and really old and not like yours. It doesn't actually like, it receives text messages, but it's wonky because he's, and she like, you can hear her like she's looking back at Theo. Oh, I don't care.
Talked to
He's
him last
old.
night. I talked to him last night about the events of last night. And
he's probably just buried in work.
He is known to not answer his phone.
Yeah, I just with everything going on and the fact that you know Abigail said you guys were being shot at, and I was just a little
That's
worried.
the least of our worries.
Uh, I think somebody getting shooting at you out of random, that's a bit worrying. And you do kind of like hear like Theo say something. So roll me a wits and awareness to see if you hear what he says.
Five successes.
It's faint, but you think you get a I'm pretty sure he's still alive given circumstances if that's what you're worried about.
He's talking to me or to her?
He's talking to her. Like Theo heard her asking where he was and he was like, "No, I think he's still alive."
Who was Theo talking about? The
Eloise.
Seneschal?
Yeah.
No, this is me saying it out loud to Ash.
You hear her pause and she kind of like looks at him. Like you get the sense that she is like eyeballing Theo a little bit, and then you kind of like distinctly hear he walks away and she goes, "Yes."
Who does he think is still alive?
He thinks Eloise is still alive, which I'm fairly certain, given a few things.
Everyone in the city would know if he died.
Yeah, it'd be a mess, cause and she starts to say something and she pauses. Where are you heading?
To pick up tech.
Okay. Oh good. Azra got to him in time.
What?
Rose texted me in a flurry saying that they Kieran made it down to Tex Haven. He's fine. Haven't heard from Azra, but I'm assuming if you're going to pick him up, he's fine. I need to text Azra. I need to text Vicente too. All right, let me know something. I've got to go do a thing, and
You should whatever you have to do. Where are we going? Rich, what did Alice say? Maria, where are we going after this?
What did Alice say? I'm confused, sorry.
Rich, did you tell Alice that we were heading to Firelight?
Oh, did I tell you had me call Alice? I'm very
I
confused.
gave you
You
my
had the
phone.
phone that Alice
Oh,
was
I
on
thought
the
you were
other
throwing
end.
it back in like an emergency, like you were done talking and through. I'm sorry, I misunderstood that completely.
You hang up
Has-
on
So no,
me.
we left Alice hanging.
has Alice been
No.
sitting there going hello, hello?
Honestly,
Yeah, sorry, I didn't
probably,
understand
yeah.
that. Yes, of course, I did as was expected. Yeah, sorry, where was I telling Alice to go? That corner or the Firelight place?
The last thing I said to you was Firelight, and I threw the phone at you.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I guess I would have very confusedly been something about a firelight. I'm hoping
Okay.
you know what that means.
I'll meet you guys there.
Okay. I am not one to make demands of my sheriff, and please do not see this as me being.
In these circumstances, I'm considering this a request. No boons
Yes.
necessary. What do you need?
Please meet us with Azra at Firelight.
Not a
I
problem.
don't know what's happening, but I just had to. There was a bomb,
Wait,
and I'm pretty sure. No, I know. We took out one of 3 Second Inquisition operatives that were watching the automotive office. I have no idea how they know that we would have been there in the slightest. They had military grade, like official equipment. This wasn't something that you can just buy on the black market. and they had contingencies. So this was planned. They had everything ready to go. And storyteller was, well, we didn't check. Never mind. I'm not even going to ask about that. I was going to say about the name tag, but we didn't even try to find it. So I'm not even worried about it. So I'm going to pick up tech. We're going to Firelight.
You do get the sense that finding that name tag would have been useless anyhow. Okay. Let me know. I will head straight over there. I'm gonna get in contact with Azra, and yeah, well, we can do this. All right. I'll see you later. And she just like without even saying goodbye, like hangs up the phone. And so you guys are gonna go pick up tech. And is Dr. Smith going straight to the building?
Directly without hesitation and just hoping that people are behind her.
Okay. So y'all stop and get tech. Maximus, you're gonna go hunt. So make your hunting roll.
I just go ahead and open the side door as if I know that I'm not going to see tech come in, and I just wait for the door to close.
I do send a text to tech from my phone 5 minutes whenever we're 5 minutes away.
Tech isn't actually using any obfuscate. He's just crawling out of the storm drain and into the back of the van.
Sorry, go ahead.
To check, because he would start chatting with people about what the hell went down. Is Firelight the same location that Tech established as being the Second Inquisition headquarters as well? Or are those two separate locations?
Two separate locations.
Okay, just wanted to verify.
Firelight is downtown Dallas. It's in an office building,
Gotcha.
one of the high rises. When Patrick said the Second Inquisition we're being at was northern Dallas, up near Highland Park.
Gotcha.
That they had completely moved away from downtown. But
well, he'll be passing on that information and letting him know that the cell is operating out of the north end of Dallas and that he has a pretty good idea of the location.
I'll let Tech know. I think Patty's still alive. I think we can get him.
I mean, depending upon who he got nabbed by, the odds are potentially in his favor.
And the things I see that way tend to be the future, or at least the very near future. He could be still alive.
We're going to find out.
Okay. Wait for Maximus.
So normally Maximus is really like meticulous. Waits to like try to find somebody that is obviously a piece of shit to feed off of. That is not the case right now because I rolled an 8 success messy critical.
You dodge into one of the alleyways, numerous alleyways, as you're weaving your way quickly. Like you're focused. You're just going to get food. You come across a homeless person who appears to just be minding their own business, probably taking a break, sitting down, looking like they're just world weary. They do not hear you as you sneak up behind them.
And the thing that they would hear as like hand goes on top of their head and yanks their hair and pulls them up, like hand on shoulder to open the neck as much as he can, is, I'm sorry, and like just bites in, and it is a mangled feeding. It's not something that's clean or concise. Like he probably like rips part of their throat out, and the force of like pulling on their head and shoulder probably doesn't help at all. But I definitely kill the guy
You do. And a
and
question.
go down to 0.
Would this break any of your convictions?
I don't think so, but I do still think it's worth a stain because
You take a
it's
stain.
definitely not like this is not this person's not his usual type. And then after the beast is quiet, Maximus just kind of looks down the body that he's holding. Head's probably like halfway detached at this point.
You're looking at this person, and it's an older gentleman, scraggly beard, hair messy. As you're looking at him, you do see a pair of silver dog tags tucked into his shirt.
I take them and put them in my pocket. I'm not really feeling sad because honestly, in his state, he's probably struggling anyway. So this is almost a mercy to him as far as Maximus sees it. He is definitely upset with himself because this is very dangerous. And so I'm going to look for a nearby dumpster.
Roll wits and awareness.
2 successes.
The alleyway, you're still going through all of the emotions that are accompanying this. And you do see a one of those industrial sized dumpsters down farther and off to the corner.
It's going to take me a little bit more time, but I'm going to pull the sword out and I'm going to dismember him to the point where I can fit him in some of the trash bags and hide them in the dumpster.
You are able to do so. And do you head back to your coterie?
Yep. Probably some blood stains on the clothes now.
Dr. Smith.
Yes.
You make it to Firelight first, because you did not make a stop to pick up a Nosferatu or to feed. You've been here maybe once for some sort of like event that was being held here because they have a decent sized conference room. And it was probably also like a show of what they could offer the hospital that you work for. So you were kind of like sent as like the representative, but you've been here like maybe once, so you're familiar with walking up the steps to the glass doors with the gold handles going up, and you're very able to easily enter into the building. The floor looks to be marble. Like there is 2 hallways branching off, and then behind what looks like a small security center is 2 elevators going up. And there's also like a set of stairs going up as well, so like you could take the elevator or the stairs. And you do know Abigail said she was in the ladies' room on the first floor.
So Dr. Smith is gonna just head right in and try and find the ladies' restroom on the first floor.
Roll me a wits and awareness. See how successful you are.
Five.
Excellent. It doesn't take you very long. It's almost like as if on instinct. Like, oh, I remember where they were. You turn down to the left and you're walking for a little bit before you do see the sign that says restrooms with like the little arrow. You turn down. The ladies are right on the side. You know, the gentlemen's are a little down farther. So you're able to make it straight for it.
She's gonna look around to see if there's anyone else like in the direct vicinity before going in.
You don't see anyone. Like there's a couple of like cameras, but like it's an office building. There's cameras everywhere. You can't see like maybe because it's late at night. There's like security guard looks like he's doing his rounds. He notices you, just kind of like gives you a wave that mistakes you for being someone who works here. He's used to like the IT people staying late or like varying shifts, so you're not out of place. So you're free to just enter the bathroom.
She's gonna do so, and she's gonna see if there are any feet under the stalls before checking the last.
You don't see any. Like it's very quiet.
Okay, so she is gonna go straight for the last big stall.
You push open the door. Abigail is laying against the wall. And you get a whiff of blood. And as you look at her, you can see the back of her head looks like an expertly placed bullet hole.
So there's no chance she's alive at all.
You don't get the sense she's not moving. You reach down to like feel her leg and she's a little cool. She's not warm like she normally is.
Is there
Her phone is still in her hand. It looks like she had been trying to call somebody, but it looks like in her fall, the screen cracked a little bit.
Does it look like she was placed where she is, or like that's where she fell?
You can see. Make me a wits and investigate.
Two. Two successes.
It is a small space, so you are able to see, judging by, and you're not an expert on this. If Rio were here, you feel like she would be able to tell you more accurately. You get the sense that that was where she was placed, so she was just more out of the way.
Because I was gonna try and figure out like if someone came into the stall or if someone found a way to get her without her seeing, but
it's hard for you to tell. It doesn't really look too much like there was a scuffle. One of her high heels is off. It's like laying next to her. But overall, she's just kind of laying there. Her eyes are closed. But you do remember she was putting something in the bin.
I'm gonna take her phone and put it in my bag. And then I'm gonna check the little bucket thing.
The only thing that's in there is folded up paper. It's folded vertically. And you're able to pull it straight out. The inside feels a little weighty, so as you open it, you have to like catch the security card that almost falls out of it. And as you're like looking through the documents, you do like look at the card, and it has her name on it, so you feel like this is her ID card because she's Mateo's ghoul. Eloise gave her access to the building, so if she had to come for business meetings, he would let her. The papers are all printouts of an email exchange. She appears to be contacting one of her reporters that she's in contact with. And you do see Like, it starts off very pleasant, like, hey, I just need you to look into something. And as you're reading it, you see very down on the bottom of the email, I need you to look at this person. I need to see if one of my friends is correct on something. And you go, yeah, sure, what's the name? And in 2 letters, it looks like the printer like scrudged it up a little bit, so it's a little hard to say. You can make out the last name starts with an L, but like the first name, like the ink's smudged enough, you feel like in her haste she probably like pulled it off too quick. And as you're like flipping through the rest, you do get what looks to be classified documents. Most of it's blacked out, but you're able to pick up a few words. Operation Antigen. Technician. Little bit more of a blurb. Left UK circa 2014. And as you're going through, again, it's mostly blacked out. You get to the bottom. And it looks like a printout of an ID card, like a really old ID card. The person is a young man. It's in black and white, so he's got kind of curly hair. A sweater. Looks kind of like annoyed to be taking a photo for an ID. And the ID information is next to him. You recognize the symbol. MI6. The name on the ID. Rory Lennox. Underneath it says, looks like she scribbled real quick. Kieran's former ghoul knew this would get us in trouble. Told Aloise not to do it. He's 2I.
Dr. Smith's gonna take a piece of paper from her bag and a pen and write out of order and stick it to the front of the ladies' restroom.
You're able to do so.
Just so that she can deal with that properly later without anyone else trying to.
You are. And it's at this time the rest of you pull up to the building.
She will meet them outside.
Tech, you occasionally do work for them. Rory occasionally throws you tech work here and there. You're fairly familiar with this building.
I would assume that given his general continence that Tech probably has a discreet way of getting into the building.
There is. You have access to a side entrance on the building that looks like it's probably a janitor's entrance that's near one of the bins for like housekeeping and stuff that you know leads into the stairwell.
Tech will start making his way directly to the side entrance then once they pull up.
If she catches him, she is gonna stop and hand him the slightly broken phone.
He'll take it and stick it in his pocket, since having to leave the Haven in the manner that he did, he doesn't have any of his gear on him.
Hold up 1 second, Tech. I got some information for everyone. And she will hold out the most important page with the ID and the information about him being ghoul and such.
Where did you get this?
Abigail. She didn't make it. She died getting us this information.
Oh. What's the plan?
Well, at this point, we got 2 things we need to clean up around here, in my opinion. How we
What was
approach that?
Based on the description I gave of the vision, does it give Tech any idea of maybe where that room would be?
Make me a wits and investigation roll. Or intelligence
Okay.
investigation.
I can likely pass through the building pretty unnoticed, given I look professional enough, and I now have a key card. And I also have ways of getting them to just leave me alone as I walk through the building. So if we need a direct approach, I can navigate pretty easily.
I'm spending a willpower on that check.
I also tend to be able to get in and out with people not remembering that I was there. So if that's something we need to do, we can do that.
3 successes.
You get the feeling just because it said it was cold, it was probably one of the basement levels.
Best I can say is possibly a basement. That's just a educated guess, though.
I have a question. It might be a little awkward for the group, but why would they keep him alive? If he knew all this stuff, right, and found out and passed it along, and I mean, what would be the reason to keep him alive?
It depends on who wants to keep him alive.
There's a couple ways this could go, and any of the parties could have reason to keep him around. They'd also have good reason to potentially just off his ass, but
It is very possible that they didn't keep him alive, but it's, as Tech said, probably equally as likely as they did. We don't have the full picture yet, so we're not quite sure what they want in the first place. So they might need him for something. If he's good at finding information, with all the information he's able to find, they might need him to find something for them.
Maximus is gonna text Ash, says where, the letter R, the letter U, question mark.
You get a very light response. Busy. And could everyone make me a wits and awareness?
Three successes.
Also 3.
2 for Tech.
2 botches.
5.
Were any of those on hunger dice for Rio?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I like how we all just assumed they were the worst possible
Yep.
outcome.
Yep.
I was literally thinking, oh, this is about to get entirely different from what I was already planning. Alice, you're the first one because of your already heightened sense of what is going on. In the distance, you hear one boom, 2. And as you're processing it, the top story of the building blows out. Maximus, you know that that is where the Seneschal's office was. And Tech, you get a text message on your phone. It's from an unknown number.
That's probably the only reason that Tech's gonna actually take a look at it, because it's just a little bit too much curiosity for that. So
it's a video. And it's dimly lit in there. And you can see the blue glow of monitors. And the phone is propped up on his leg. And you can see the familiar red-ish curly hair, cream-colored cardigan, and the slight sound of his voice that's got a Scottish accent in it. Sorry about Abigail, but he had it coming. You probably won't understand my motives behind this. And I'm sorry for what I'm about to bring down on the city. But that bastard upstairs, well, soon to not be upstairs, decided to break an oath and took me from my Domador because he made him upset. And I never did tell you what my clan is. Maybe this would have been different if I wasn't what I am. It's funny. He tried to embrace me to keep me from doing what I do best, but it backfired on him and made me clanless. But I'm tired of being treated like a dog on a chain. And you do see he like reaches over and like pushes a couple buttons, and that's when you do hear the sound of the explosions start and the fire alarms go off. And his eyes briefly flicker black. You know, I always liked you, despite your assholishness. Hope you make it out of this alive. And the video ends. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session. So thank you everybody for joining us for episode 3 of our Undead in Dallas miniseries. Join us on Halloween night for our finale episode that will be entitled, because I'll tell you all now, Libera Me. Have a good night, everyone.